have blessed him too much.
Why do you still hold on to your integrity in God?
The day of my birth is cursed, and that in the end he will stand on the earth.
My name is Job. I am a servant of God, a husband, a father. Everything I have, he gave. Everything I am, he shaped. My children are the heart of my prayers. They walk through life with the ease I once dreamed of. That too is a gift. I look at them and see lives beyond my control, but never beyond my concern. I keep my worries quiet. God hears what they don't know to say. The Lord has enlarged my portion. Still, I rise early, knowing favor is not forever. I've seen how easily gain turns to dust. Every blessing is a test. I teach my sons to lead so they learn to carry the weight of others. The barns are full, yet my heart stays empty unless I begin the day in surrender. I remind them daily, responsibility is heavier than gold. To me, everything can change. Only God remains. Even the smallest signs remind me how much I depend on Him. I kneel not to ask for more, but to return what I cannot keep. I do this because I believe intercession matters. If they have sinned in ways they do not see, may it not be held against them.
Please forgive me if my children have made any mistakes.
I believe the Lord hears before I speak. I leave knowing the prayer is already beyond me. If something shifts in the silence, I leave it to the one who sees everything. Though I was not among them, I know the sons of God assembled before the Lord. He was seated in glory, and they stood in reverence. His presence alone declares purpose. The angels bowed themselves. For all in heaven understand the fear of the Lord. They know the weight of His majesty. Their wings were drawn in silence, their heads lowered. The fear of God is clean, enduring forever. The hosts encircled His light, for He is in the midst of His assembly, and His holiness goes before Him. His glory stirred, for He sees all things. There is no thought hidden from Him, no motive unseen. All turn toward Him, for from Him comes every decree, and what proceeds from His mouth shall not return void. Among the gathering, there came the accuser. He entered as he always does, restless, seeking occasion. The Lord said to him, "From whence comest thou?" And he answered, "From going to and fro in the earth, for his present Itzeft is blasphemous. He has something in his mind."
Where have you come from?
I have been roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it.
Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him, a man who is blameless and upright.
You have blessed him too much. But if you take everything away from him, he will curse you to your face.
Very well then, everything he has is in your power, but on the man himself do not lay a finger.
The accuser may laugh, but the Lord shall have the final word, and heaven shall judge between us. The day began in peace. I stood where I often stand, watching the fields that once answered my labor. Something pressed upon my spirit. I did not yet understand, but my soul leaned into the silence. My eyes searched the horizon, and my breath held its place. The calm would not last. The field stretched before me, but I stood alone. Then messenger came running, dust on his feet, urgency in his voice.
The ox was plowing, the donkey was eating beside it.
I pictured the field as he spoke. I saw the swords in my mind, sharp and sudden. I knew my servants had no chance. I pray the Lord heard him.
The Sabaeans have killed all the servants, and I am the only one left.
I had no time to grieve. My mouth had not yet opened. A second followed, wounded and pale.
Fire consumed the sheepfold and the people living there.
Fire took the hill, and all upon it. I could not name them all, but I knew their faces. I had broken bread with them. Only the dust and the sky remain.
The Chaldeans divided into 3 groups, seized the camels, and killed all the servants.
I imagined the camels running, wild with fear. I imagined blood in the dust. They fell defending what was never theirs, and yet the blows were not done. Another came, his voice broken. He did not need to finish. I saw it in his eyes. My children, all of them, had been feasting. Then the wind rose, the house fell. None lived. The fabric could not carry the weight of my grief. My face burned from weeping. My soul collapsed with my body. Naked I came from my mother's womb. Naked shall I return. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord, even now, especially now. The house built with care. The beams break. The dust rise. My children were crushed under it.
Are they all dead?
Blessed be the name of the Lord, even now, especially now. I have nothing left. The servants who once carried my burdens now lie dead. What I built has fallen. Everything crumbles when the hand of God allows it. Heaven itself seems to mourn with me. The ground drinks both life and death. My children, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Their laughter silenced, their breath taken. My heart is torn beyond words. They were taken without warning. My arms hang empty. I cannot hide the tears. My wife's cries pierce the air. I know her pain. Her anguish is unrestrained. Her grief is a storm fiercer than the rain.
Why do you still hold on to your integrity in God? Curse him and die!
You speak like a foolish woman.
Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there.
The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
I remain his servant, even in the ruin of all I loved. The heavens speak of me while I stand in silence on the earth. I am weighed, measured. My faith becomes their subject, my grief their argument. What am I that I should be spoken of by angels and the adversary alike? Satan is trying to prove his point. I am left to bear it while heaven observes.
You see, Job still does not rebel.
The adversary demands more.
Skin for skin. Touch his bone and his flesh. Permit me to cover him with painful sores.
He is in your hands, but do not take his life.
Let them strike. Let them test. I am dust, and I will return to dust. But as long as breath remains in me, it is his breath, not the adversary's. I am in pain. It does not stop. My skin burns, my bones ache. Breathing is hard. I sit with nothing left. I am weak. The pain keeps growing. There is no end. My body gives me no rest. I cannot escape it. Anger comes to me. Despair tells me I am abandoned. My flesh fights me. I am trapped in it. I look for relief, but find none. I scratch until I bleed. Still, it does not stop. She comes. She cannot bear to look at me.
Do you still have faith? Curse God and die!
I look at her. I will not do it.
You talk like a fool.
I drop the shard. I have no strength. She leaves me. I am alone again. I am still alive. My body suffers, but I still belong to God. My friend Eliphaz hears of me. He is troubled. He comes to me. Bildad learns of me. He is shaken. He travels to me. Zophar hears the same. He is heavy in heart. He also comes. They see me from afar. Eliphaz cannot hide his shock. Bildad mourns for me. Zophar grieves with me. They sit down near me. They say nothing. We are silent together.
If someone were to say a word to you, would you be offended? Behold, you have instructed many, and you have strengthened weak hands. But now trouble comes to you, and you are dismayed.
I have seen those who plow iniquity and sow trouble reap the same.
Consider this. When were the innocent ever destroyed? A secret word was brought to me, and my ear caught a whisper of it. In the visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on mankind, a spirit passed before my face. I could not discern its form. Can a mortal be more righteous than God?
Blessed is the one whom God corrects, so do not despise the discipline of the Almighty.
For he wounds, but he also binds up. He strikes, but his hands heal. If you return to the Almighty, you will be restored.
Should a wise man answer with empty knowledge? You fill your mouth with the east wind.
You undermine piety and hinder devotion before God.
The eyes of the wicked long for darkness. Terror stalks them at noonday.
The sound of dread fills the ears of the wicked. In the midst of prosperity, the destroyer comes. Are your words truly meant to comfort? Or are you crushing me instead? I have not denied the words of the Holy One, but I have no strength left.
If I have sinned, my sin remains with me. Why do you heap burden upon burden? Leave me alone. The day of my birth is cursed.
How long will you say such things? Your words are a blustering wind. Does God pervert justice? Does the Almighty pervert what is right? When your children sinned against him, he gave them over to the penalty of their sin.
But if you will seek God earnestly and plead with the Almighty,
If you are pure and upright, even now he will rouse himself on your behalf.
Your beginnings will seem humble, so prosperous will your future be.
surely God does not reject one who is blameless or strengthen the hands of evildoers. The hope of the godless shall perish.
Can papyrus grow tall where there is no marsh?
Such is the destiny of all who forget God.
The lamp of the wicked is snuffed out.
His roots dry up below, and his branches wither above. Terrors startle him on every side and dog his every step. He is torn from the security of his tent and marched off to the king of terrors.
Surely such is the dwelling of an evil man.
Even the moon is not bright, and the stars are not pure in his eyes.
How much less a mortal who is but a maggot,
A human being who is only a worm.
Your mouth condemns you, not mine. Your own lips testify against you.
God will not reject a blameless man, nor take the hand of evildoers.
How can mere mortals prove their innocence before God?
Though I were innocent, I could not answer him. I could only plead with my judge for mercy. He is not a mere mortal like me, that I might answer him.
God does not restrain his anger. Even Rahab's helpers cower at his feet.
Are not my few days almost over? Turn away from me so I can have a moment's joy. You shaped me like clay. Will you now turn me to dust again?
Did you not clothe me with skin and flesh, and knit me together with bones and sinews?
You gave me life and showed me kindness, and in your providence watched over my spirit.
But this is what you concealed in your heart. If I sinned, you would be watching me. Why then did you bring me out of the womb?
Are not my days few? Then cease and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. I have become a byword to everyone, a man in whose face people spit. God has wronged me and drawn his net around me. Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Keep silent and let me speak. Then let come to me what may. Why do you hide your face and consider me your enemy? You destroy man's hope, like a mountain crumbles and erodes away. Man born of woman is of few days and full of trouble. You watch over us like a lion stalking its prey. Oh, that my words were recorded, that they were written on a scroll. Are all these words to go unanswered? Is this talker to be vindicated? Will your idle talk reduce others to silence? Will no one rebuke you when you mock?
You say to God, "My beliefs are flawless, and I am pure in your sight."
Oh, how I wish that God would speak, that he would open his lips against you. Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty?
They are higher than the heavens above. What can you do?
They are deeper than the depths below. What can you know?
Know this: God has even forgotten some of your sin. Yet if you devote your heart to him and stretch out your hands to him, you will stand firm and without fear.
Surely you know how it has been from of old, ever since mankind was placed on the earth.
The mirth of the wicked is brief. The joy of the godless lasts but a moment. Though the pride of the godless reaches to the heavens, and his head touches the clouds, he will perish forever, like his own dung. Those who have seen him will say, "Where is he?"
He will fly away like a dream and not be found. Terrors overtake him like a flood. A tempest snatches him away in the night. The east wind carries him off, and he is gone.
This is the portion from God for the wicked, the heritage appointed to them by God.
Surely such is the fate God allots to the wicked, the heritage appointed to them.
That's the end of the godless man's way.
Doubtless you are the only people who matter, and wisdom will die with you. But I have a mind as well as you. I am not inferior to you. I have become a laughingstock to my friends, though I called on God, and he answered. God destroys both the blameless and the wicked. The tents of marauders are undisturbed, and those who provoke God are secure. Ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. I have prepared my case. I know I will be vindicated. Only grant me these two things, God, and then I will not hide from you.
Withdraw your hand far from me, and stop frightening me with your terrors. Man born of woman is few of days and full of trouble. He springs up like a flower and withers away. Like a fleeting shadow, he does not endure. You watch us like someone watches a prisoner. Even now, my witness is in heaven. My advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend, as my eyes pour out tears to God. You are miserable comforters, all of you. If you would only be silent, that would be your wisdom. Why do you pursue me as God does? Will you never get enough of my flesh? I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end, he will stand on the earth.
Then suddenly I saw a tornado arose from the horizon.
Who is this that obscures my plans with words without knowledge? Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades or loosen Orion's belt? Do you hunt the prey for the lioness and satisfy the hunger of lions? Will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. Its tail sways like a cedar. The sinews of its thighs are close-knit. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its maker can approach it with his sword. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fishhook, or tie down its tongue with a rope? Its breath sets coals ablaze, and flames dart from its mouth. Its back has rows of shields tightly sealed together. Nothing can penetrate it. It makes the depths churn like a boiling cauldron, and stirs up the sea like a pot of ointment. It leaves a glistening wake behind it. One would think the deep had white hair. It looks down on all that are haughty. It is king over all that are proud.
The storm is leaving. Sun appeared again.
I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted.
You asked, who is this that obscures my plans without knowledge? Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you.
A tear in my eyes.
Therefore I despise myself and repent in dust and ashes.
For the glory of the Lord.
I am angry with you and your two friends because you have not spoken the truth about me as my servant Job has. Take 7 bulls and 7 rams and go to my servant Job and sacrifice a burnt offering for yourselves. My servant Job will pray for you, and I will accept his prayer and not deal with you according to your folly.
Bildad humbles himself. Zophar weeps. Eliphaz obeys, though shaken. I stand in the smoke, praying, and God accepts me. I kneel and give thanks. My offering rises to him. He restores my flocks. My herds return in strength. Wealth is given back to me. My house is filled again. My tents are enlarged. I watch over what he has returned. My servants move with purpose. My household is alive once more. My children stand before me again. I see them. My eyes fill with tears. I run to them. I hold them. I weep. My family is gathered. Peace surrounds us. I stand above the valley. I see what he has given. He gives, he takes, and he gives again. My life is in his hands. And in the end, that is enough. The sacrifice for Baal is beginning. Through the throng came King Ahab, holding the infant tightly against his chest. The crowd swayed in collective rhythm, their devotion a force as palpable as the fire itself. Queen Jezebel watched from the shadows of her chariot, still and silent behind a veil. Ahab held the child close, frozen for a breath against the weight of what was to come. Then Ahab lifted the child and placed it into the blazing hand of Baal. Fire surged. The crowd erupted. Around them, drums thundered. Horns split the sky. The sound drowned the cries of the child. I stood among them, the chants echoing off the stone around me. But my heart was not with theirs. As the child vanished into flame, I could not look away. My eyes burned, and still the tears came. Please, Lord on high, please welcome the poor child's soul. The fire still roared. My eyes opened. The sorrow remained, but it had found purpose. I stepped forward, breaking from the crowd. My feet carried me closer. You rebel, you have sacrificed innocent lives to idols. Ahab's eyes met mine, burning with fury. I had struck a nerve. Ahab's brow clenched, and before I could draw another breath, he's angered. 2 soldiers lunged forward, their spears gleaming, the crowd parting just enough to let death through. My heart leapt. I ran. Down the mountainside I ran, my cloak whipping in the wind, rocks sliding beneath my soles. The fire of Baal still lit the sky behind me, and with each step down the winding path, the noise faded, the mountain fell behind. Since that day, every day, God feed me. The ravens is bringing the food to me. It placed the meat on the stone and left without a sound. The food stayed warm, steaming. I stepped forward, reached down and took it. The smell hit me first. Smoke, salt, life. I bit in. I sat back against the cave wall, where the light didn't fully reach, and looked out at the world. I didn't know what would come next, but I was still here, and he hadn't forgotten me. I was trying to rest. The night was quiet, just the wind and the stream. Then I felt it, a weight in the air, thick and wrong, smoke rising into shape. The horns came first, then the eyes. Baal. His voice hit me like heat.
Elijah, you are strong. Serve me, and I will grant you power beyond death.
I bow only to the Lord. Your power is a shadow.
You dare defy the mighty Baal, then suffer.
He lifted his hand. Fire swirled around him. He was anger.
I will seal the skies. Drought shall burn your land. Your people will starve.
I felt fear, but I didn't move. I shut my eyes, held still. The Lord will not abandon his people. Even in the fire, he is with us. Then he vanished. The river dried, just dirt and dead fish now. I saw people drop in the fields, nothing to eat, nothing to drink. The sun stayed white and still, no clouds, no wind. Then came the locusts. They filled the sky. The land was ruined, and the people were breaking. The house was quiet. I could feel it even before I stepped close. I saw the boy, pale of sickness. His mother sat beside him, crumpled, holding her head like she could stop it from falling apart. Then came the tears. Not loud, just steady, like something that had been waiting a long time. I stood outside the door, waited. Then I raised my hand and knocked, once. Soft, but enough. I stood outside the door, waited. I heard her shift. A sudden breath, steps, the sound of her hand on the door. She was afraid, but she was listening. May I rest here for a while? She looked at me like she didn't expect to see anyone standing there. I didn't say a word, just waited. After a second, she opened the door and stepped aside. I walked in. The room was small, damp, heavy with silence. I sat down, looked around, then looked at her. "Give me some bread to eat." She froze, stared at me like I'd asked for something sacred.
I have only enough flour for one last piece.
"Make it for me." She didn't answer, just turned and walked off. Angry, I think. But still, she's doing what I ordered. I watched her lift the jar. She sighed, and that was enough. She took the last bit of flour, just a pinch. I saw the way her hand trembled. She worked in silence, pressing the dough without looking up. I sat still, eyes closed, listening to the soft scrape of her hands on the table. Then came the smell of fire, weak but enough to catch. She placed the bread on the stones. When it was done, she brought it to me. I took it and ate. It was simple. "Good. Make me another."
There's nothing left.
"Just do it. Make me a bread." She didn't answer. Turned away and walked back to the fire, her face tight with anger. She stopped suddenly. I saw it in her face. Shock. Her eyes went wide, her mouth opened. The jars were everywhere, dozens of them, full, lined up along the floor, shelves, even the walls. She rushed out again, hand over her chest, gasping.
I didn't know you're a prophet of God. Please forgive me for my disrespect.
"You did no disrespect, writeress daughter. Pray to the Lord. I will do what I must." Then I walked toward the boy's room. Behind me, she stayed kneeling, hands clasped, whispering a prayer with her eyes shut tight. The boy was still, too still. I stepped closer, knelt down beside him. His skin was cold. I put my hand on his forehead and prayed. Then he stirred. His eyes opened, slow but alive. I heard the mother's footsteps before I saw her. She ran into the room. She dropped beside him and pulled him close. She was crying into his shoulder, holding him like she never would again. I looked away, gave them the moment. A small smile crept in. "From this day on, your house shall never run out of flour and oil." She bowed low, hands pressed to the ground. When she lifted her head, her eyes were full, not with tears this time, but something stronger. Faith. Then I stepped away. The room was quiet now, nothing left to say. The altar was quiet now, nothing but bones and ash. They had killed so many, and still, no rain. I saw them before they saw me. Ahab and Jezebel slumped at the base of their god.
We sacrificed hundreds, and yet the skies remain silent.
He demands more. Baal must be testing us.
The wind picked up. The ash moved. That was my moment. I stepped forward. No words, just walked. One step after another. I saw Ahab lift his head. His eyes narrowed. He knew I was back. I walked through the dust until they saw me. I kept my eyes on them, no fear. Why do you still kneel before this statue of ash? You burn bones and blood, yet the sky gives you no answer. Tear it down. Return to the Lord, before he tears you down instead.
You dare speak of your Lord to us?
He waits, but not forever. Ahab looked at me for a long moment.
What must we do?
We met at the mountain next morning, me and 450 priests of Baal. The statue looked bigger up close. I raised my hand, commanded them, challenged them. Place the bull on Baal's hands. Do not light it. They hesitated, then obeyed. The animal lay still, tied and silent.
"O Baal, answer us."
They started to pray for Baal, but nothing happened. Not a singer fire was lit.
Baal.
I didn't move, just watched. The sun didn't shift. The air didn't change. Flies circled the bull, and their god stayed silent. I knew that it was time for me to declare my God. Let them know you are God. That was all I said. Then the sky split. A column of fire came down fast. It hit the altar like a hammer. The mountain shook. The statue cracked. I saw metal melt and run like water. The priests couldn't speak a word. The bull was gone. The statue was gone. Every images of Baal was burned to ashes. I stood still in the smoke, watching it all fall, and I smiled. Meanwhile, Queen Jezebel was at the temple of Baal for a prayer. She knelt, trying to reclaim control the only way she knew.
O Baal, protect your servants.
Her god answered. The statue cracked. Its eyes glowed. She froze. Her prayer broke in her mouth. He stood, bull-headed, red-robed, no longer a carving. Baal had come in full form now.
What are you doing here? My priests are dying. Save them, fool.
She stumbled back, the Queen of Israel reduced to a trembling shadow.
Forgive me, my lord.
She dropped. Her power meant nothing now. Jezebel rushed out of the temple door. Let fire fall and burn the lies from this mountain. It came like a sword from the sky. A blast so bright, the mountain lit up like day. I watched their faces, the priests, screaming, running. Some caught fire before they even moved. The rest scattered like frightened dogs, robes ablaze. One fell, burning, their cries mixed with the roar of flame. The terror in their eyes said everything. I had no need to move. The fire wasn't for me, it was for the lies, and now they were burning. They came riding hard, Jezebel and Ahab, cutting through the smoke. Her face was ash-streaked, her eyes full of fury.
We're almost there.
I stood waiting. Around me, the remains of the false priests smoldered. She yanked her horse to a stop. The fury in her chest cracked wide.
Kill him.
One of her guards stepped forward, sword in hand. I turned and ran. No time to argue, no time to prove anything. Down the slope, legs burning, breath sharp in my chest. My mouth dried out, my lungs scratched, but I didn't stop. She watched, seething. So did he. But neither moved. They knew I wouldn't run forever. The sun burned. I dragged myself across the sand, legs heavy, breath short. I stopped, shielded my eyes, and looked up. Not a sign of God, just wind and dust. I closed my eyes. My lips were cracked, my skin dry and stinging. I was tired. Then I felt him, behind me. He stood there. Baal.
You wander the desert and call to a God that's silent.
He does not abandon those who truly follow.
Truth, your God hides while I speak.
He speaks in the storm, not in lies.
Then stop me, if you can. All your people are worshiping me now.
I didn't move. I just stood there, chest pounding. No one else. Just me. And him. He leaned forward. His shadow swallowed me whole. I turned and walked. Each step felt heavier than the last. I am no better than my fathers. They had idols. We have silence. It is enough, O Lord. Please, take away my life. And then I stopped moving. The wind kept blowing. The sand didn't care. God didn't answer. I lay still under the sparse shade, the sand half burying my robe. I didn't move. A raven flew overhead, wings slicing the dawn air. It carried something in its claws. It landed nearby, dropped a piece of meat in front of me. Then it waited. My eyelids parted a sliver. I turned my head. Barely, the raven didn't move. Thank you, O Lord. Thank you. I reached for the meat, fingers trembling, and brought it to my mouth. I stood slowly, each step into the desert heavier than the last. I found a cave, carved into barren rock, and sat at the entrance, curling in on myself, my back pressed to the wall. I didn't speak, didn't think, just stared.
What are you doing here, Elijah?
I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, and now they are trying to kill me too.
Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord.
I stepped out of the cave, the wind tugging at my robe. The wind surged, fierce and wild, pulling at my clothes and hair. I closed my eyes. Dust and leaves whipped around me, stinging my skin. Then, stones crashed from the cliffs above. The ground shook. Dust exploded. I hit the ground hard, bracing myself as debris flew past. At last, a pillar of fire tore down from the sky, setting the ridge ablaze. My eyes flew open. I stood still, not in defiance, just waiting.
Go back the way you came, and anoint Hazael king over Aram. Also anoint Jehu son of Nimshi king over Israel, and anoint Elisha to succeed you as prophet.
Yes, my lord. Meanwhile, Ahab refused to eat, locked in his palace, sulking like a child, because Naboth would not sell his vineyard.
Let me take care of it.
Soon after, Naboth was dragged out from his home and was accused. He was stoned to death for disrespecting the Lord, a sin he didn't commit. Ahab took what he wanted. I found him wandering through the vineyard as if it had always been his. Your blood will be licked in the same place Naboth died. Later, during battle, an arrow found him. He collapsed in his chariot. His blood ran into the dirt. Dogs came and licked his blood, as I said before. Then I did as commanded, anointed Hazael past the mantle. But Jezebel, even in her final moments, she clung to vanity. She was thrown out of the palace's window, and the dogs ate her whole. Only her skull, feet, and hands remained. Under the sun, across the open field, I saw Elisha, driving a yoke of oxen through the dust. His back was soaked with sweat, but he moved with quiet resolve. I stood for a moment, watching. No words were needed. I walked forward, then I took off my cloak and threw it across his shoulders. He froze. His eyes widened. One hand reached up, brushing the fabric. I turned and walked away. Then I heard him running. I glanced back. He was coming. No hesitation, no questions. When he dropped to his knees, hands clasped, head bowed low, I knew he understood. The Lord has chosen him to be my legacy. The sun was low when we reached the Jordan. We walked side by side along its bank. Neither of us spoke. I kept my eyes ahead, toward the horizon, though my thoughts were already leaving it behind.
Do you find the sky too quiet?
I gave a small nod. Indeed, it was quiet. Too quiet. Like the stillness before a storm. Out of the mist, he came to me again. Elisha stepped back. He had never seen Baal before.
You defile this sacred ground.
Now we stand on the Creator's land.
I am the creator of this land.
Creator? Or just a fake name? Baal faltered. The mist around him wavered. I know your true name. Elisha looked at me, uncertain. Satan. He screamed, raw, furious. The mask fell away, and there he stood. No longer Baal, but the thing beneath. Red-skinned, horned, wings spreading. His eyes blazed. His body trembled with power barely contained. He is Satan. Elisha stepped back, pale, frozen in place. but I stood firm. Satan lunged, shadows stretching behind him, the earth cracking beneath his charge. The sky answered. Clouds twisted above, red light piercing through the storm. Then it came, a column of fire, sudden and absolute, crashing down from heaven. Flames consumed his scream. His body writhed, eyes wide before vanishing in the blaze. Again, silence stretching across the Jordan's banks, the last glow of sunset washing everything in gold. I saw him lift his eyes, the fire from heaven still reflected in them. Then it came, the chariot. Gold, blinding, patterns dancing along its surface, horses with burning manes, wheels wreathed in flame. I stood tall, my cloak whipped in the wind. I didn't blink. He came closer, his face trembling with emotion. "Stay strong, my son." He lowered his head, tears slipping down his cheek. I turned and walked toward the chariot. Stepped in. Light engulfed me, the wheels turned. I rose, fast and roaring, tearing across the surface of the river. Ahead, a portal opened, burning gold, alive. Then I was gone, and he was alone. Mist surrounded me, soft, endless, white as stone beneath my feet. Then I stopped. I saw him, a figure in the fog. I knew that form. My breath caught. Moses.
He's waiting.
We walked together side by side as the mist parted before us. Light grew ahead, slow, warm, alive. And then I saw him, the Lamb, the Son of God. Upon the mountain's crown, wrapped in golden white, it's like the whole of my life was served only for this moment, and everything in me fell silent.